Hi everyone, and welcome to Docue Digest, where we break down a particular legal document into bite-sized pieces. On the menu today is SaaS agreements and software license agreements. We're going to delve into what they are, the differences between them, and when they should be used. I'm Ashley Evans, Legal Counsel at Docue UK, and joining me today is my colleague Heather.
Hi, I'm Heather Stark, Senior Legal Counsel at Docue UK. So Ashley, let's start by explaining the key differences between these two types of contracts. What's a SaaS agreement?
SaaS agreements are contracts that govern the use of software that can be accessed by users over the internet. It's known as software as a service, or SaaS. So instead of needing to install and maintain the software yourself, users will usually access it through a web browser or an app. The user will usually pay a monthly or an annual subscription to the service, and the SaaS provider hosts and manages the software on their own servers.
That's right. On the other hand, software license agreements are contracts for software that's accessed by the customer's own system. So the software license will be purchased by the user, and then they'll download the software either via a CD or from the vendor's website and install it directly on their own computer. With traditional software licenses like this, the user has control over the data that's stored and processed by the software on its system.
Right, but when it comes to data with SaaS, the user doesn't download the software on their computer. Instead, the software and the user's data are stored on the platform, which is usually hosted by the SaaS provider in the cloud. Heather, can you give us a real-life example of a traditional software license model?
Yes, absolutely. So let's use Microsoft Office as an example. Using the traditional software license model, users can purchase a lifetime license for Microsoft Office. They'll either install it from a CD or directly from Microsoft's website onto their computer. It's a one-time purchase, so you pay a single fee up front to get Microsoft apps like Word, Excel, and PowerPoint.
That's correct, but actually Microsoft now offers a SaaS solution as well, called Microsoft 365, where users can access the software using the same apps like Word and Excel, but this time over the internet on a subscription basis. This allows for faster deployments, automatic updates, and less IT infrastructure requirements.
Yes, and another key difference between SaaS and traditional licensing is the way it's paid for. With SaaS agreements, businesses tend to pay on a monthly or annual basis, but with a software license agreement, you'll typically pay an upfront fee for the number of users the business needs to have individual licenses for.
So one way to think about it is that traditional software licenses are kind of like buying a CD or a USB with the software on it, whereas SaaS is more like streaming music on Spotify or watching movies on Netflix. That's where you access the software if you pay for the subscription. So why are SaaS agreements becoming so increasingly popular?
Well, SaaS agreements allow users to access software from anywhere as long as they have connection to the internet. With SaaS, there's generally no need for upfront costs or lengthy installation processes. This model works well for businesses that need flexibility with software usage and prefer a subscription-based model. Nowadays, it's generally seen as a more efficient and cost-effective way of accessing software.
Yes, exactly. Whereas software license agreements often come with additional responsibilities for the user, where they'll need to handle updates, security, and support for the software themselves. Does the software provider ever offer support services with software license agreements?
Yes, they can do. Sometimes the software supplier will offer installation, support, and maintenance services too, and this will be set out in the software license agreement.
Okay, so a traditional software license will likely be a more suitable option for businesses that want to have more control over the software themselves, along with their data. As with SaaS, the user's data will be stored on the software supplier's servers.
That's right. When a business is deciding between using a SaaS agreement or a software license, it's important to consider factors such as flexibility and the level of control the business wants over the software and its data.
Yes, and it will also depend on their budget. You'd have to consider if you prefer to pay on a monthly or annual subscription basis, or just an upfront fee. Both options have their advantages, and ultimately it depends on the needs of the business. What are the key clauses that will be included in a software license agreement?
Well, both types of contracts will contain similar provisions about the scope of license, restrictions on software use, payment terms, and any warranties given in relation to the performance or functionality of the software. Some suppliers sell their software on an as-is basis, so the user will be responsible for the choice of the software, and the supplier doesn't give any assurances that it'll meet the user's specific needs or work flawlessly. It's also important in both cases that the agreement clarifies the ownership of intellectual property rights. Usually these will remain with the software supplier.
Yes, but with a SaaS agreement, it will also contain any subscription terms, service level agreements, and terms relating to data ownership and security. Additionally, either contract could set out any terms relating to support if the seller will be providing support and maintenance services.
Exactly. So once you've decided which agreement is the right one for you, is there an easy way of creating your own contract for the licensing or purchase of software?
Yes, Docue has a SaaS agreement template and a software license agreement template that can be used whether you're a software provider or a customer. All you need to do is answer a series of questions, and Docue's super smart technology will produce a tailored SaaS or software license agreement for you.
Sounds great. Thanks for listening, everyone.